strangers in a changing season. We cool together and it all feels good. You know we wouldn't trade a thing, and I think I know the reason. The moment comes to pass and the meaning's understood. It's all love and laughter. We're growing older together. We're gonna find our way. We're finding joy and magic in our lives as we get older. This is our life in the middle. Life in the middle. Life in the middle.
Welcome back to episode 5 of Life in the Middle. I'm Jenna.
I'm Travis, and we're back again to this week to talk about faith in the middle. We don't keep it a secret. We covered this last episode that we're devout Christians, and faith is a big part of our life, and I believe that is one of the main reasons why this season of life is so rich for us, is because of our spiritual beliefs.
I agree.
So we wanted to cover that this week, just kind of talk about some of the stuff that we do as far as our church goes, with our family, the way we put our faith into our kids, as part of our parenting techniques, things like that. So last week you may have tuned in, and we talked about, let's see,
Sports?
No, was it sports last week?
No, dating.
Yeah,
we did dating last week.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Dating in the middle.
We got so many of these going on, so we try to keep up.
Dating each other in the middle.
And we talked a little bit about our faith in there, about how our marriage, we are one. So we wanted to kind of expound on that this week. So why do you think faith matters to you right now in this season of life?
Well, we've lived life with when we weren't going to church, and definitely something missing in your heart when you're not. I feel like, at least, and just seeing God's plan for us, and knowing that even in the most horrible, worst, lowly times that we've had in our lives, there was a plan. And sometimes, you get to the end of that and you go, okay, we had to do all of this to get here. Right. And it has to, God's plan is so much greater than ours. And sometimes when you're in the depths of it, you don't see it. But when you come out the other side, okay, his plan was way greater than mine, and it's ended in a place where I needed to be.
I can definitely say for probably both of us that we wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for our God and what his plan that we had for him. Because we probably went kicking and screaming, trying to go a different direction the whole time.
Yes.
And I can look back at a lot of our life and realize if this hadn't happened, this wouldn't have happened, and this wouldn't have happened, and we wouldn't be where we are today. Yeah. And I couldn't imagine being anywhere else.
Yes. Yes, our God is an amazing God, and he has led us every step, for sure.
So what do you think faith looks like for a person that's in their middle ages, or a couple that is in their middle ages? What do you think faith looks like for us and those people?
I mean, for someone starting out and that doesn't know God, for me, God's love, and that's love of so many people, getting love from so many people. I feel like because of our faith, because of God, because of our church, we feel so much love, so much help. I mean, it is your church family. It's a community. It is. It's a random text message on any given day. Hey, I'm praying for you. Hey, I know I saw you, going through it. Or, hey, can you do something for me? Or, those kinds of things. Like, you just don't understand. When you get into church, you find an amazing, graceful Father. Mm-hmm. But they give you, because of him, it gives you brothers and sisters.
100%.
And so many that love you and want to champion for you. They want to be behind you. If you have a problem, they want to help fix it. You know, if you lost a job, they want to help you find another. If you're struggling with your marriage, they want to help counsel you through it. So not only do we get salvation and
Mhm.
you know the grace of God, you get everything that goes with it and all of His love that goes through just so many different people.
Yeah, we talked we talk about parenting on this show. We talk about uh our marriage on this show. One, I think we said before, parenting takes a village. I think our church family is part of that
Oh,
village.
absolutely.
Um,
Oh, absolutely.
I think two, our marriage is stronger because of our faith and the fact that we believe together, because we share like viewpoints when it comes to our faith, that actually gives us a reason to um, fight for each other,
Well,
because
yeah, yeah,
we don't believe that we believe marriage is forever,
yeah,
and when hard times come, there's not an easy way out for us. It's
yeah,
because of our faith and what we believe. It's you're gonna fix this problem,
yeah.
and we're gonna keep moving on.
Well, it's
So
it's because we made a covenant
right,
to each other through God,
correct.
and our love for God is number one, and then our love for each other is number two. But because our love for God is number
Yeah,
one, that flourishes our marriage for sure.
and I would say for anybody that's out there watching who may not have a church family, find one. Um, Immediately reach out, find an open door somewhere. I don't care what denomination it is,
Yeah,
whatever
just
you want, find one, because those people that are inside that building, just like us, and I want to preface this, we're not perfect,
no,
nor will we ever
no.
be.
So we've
Uh,
always said church is a hospital for sinners.
100%.
If you're walking in the door, these are not perfect people
No, we're
at
all,
all. And any Christian would tell you, I sin. My sin is
yeah,
just as great as your sin. It's just your demon might be look different than my demon
yeah,
did. You know, like I go to church because I'm imperfect and I need God's grace and I need His love, and I am a sinner, and that I'm a Christian, but I'm also a sinner, and I try every day not to be. I am nowhere near perfect, but hospital for sinners, that's what a church is, and it's so much love. It's so much love.
and if the church aspect, the Sunday morning worship is something that you're not quite ready for yet, and there's people out there, find a Christian support group.
Yeah.
We have one in this town for men that I've seen, that I go to personally to talk about Jesus, and I've seen that change people's life without ever being part of a congregation. I know you have a women's group that you talk to through text messages and events. Those things are out there, that doesn't necessarily have to be that early morning Sunday worship that sometimes people feel like is judgy, which I'm just telling you here, people aren't judging you. They're just happy you're there. I do understand the feeling that people get
Yeah,
from that.
there's a new feeling
So,
when you walk into a building that you're just like, I'm the outsider. Everybody's going to talk to me, and more than likely, if you do show up on a Sunday morning at our church, you're going to get 30 or 40 people
oh,
coming
for
up.
sure.
There, you're gonna. We want to make sure that you feel loved and appreciated when you come in, because you're definitely gonna. It's a little overwhelming, but there's so much love in that building that we've got to share it with everybody for sure.
So let's talk about uh, our faith is in our family life, and what people out there will probably see if you're a believer and you have faith in your life, then it resonates through your family as well. Um, what is what was your idea when we decided, when we had kids and we were raising them? Well, we decided our faith and how we would use that raising our kids. What is something that you thought early on?
Well, I mean, first when you think about it, you need a village, you need people. You also just picking churches and those kinds of things. There was a lot of youth group. That was always a big thing for me, is to make sure the church that we went through had a youth group, because I wanted our kids to be surrounded with other kids of like mind, like
Yeah,
faith. Um, and not just because I wanted them to teach. I wanted them to have people to go to, older kids as they went through, um, people in the same grade that they could look for in a crowd when they walked into high school, those kinds
Yeah.
of things. Um, that was really important to me, because I knew I had a great youth group, a great youth minister. He's actually one of the ministers still at our church. That he's a youth minister, and then moved up. So my youth minister is still there. I see him, but it's very important, to have so many influences on the kids and stuff. And so when it comes to that, that was one of the things that I was looking for. I wanted to make sure that the kids were immersed into church. So when we were going to do it, we weren't going to have to do it. It needed to be.
Yeah.
We're not just going to be there for service on Sunday morning. We're going to be in Bible class so they can
Yeah.
learn about Jesus and learn about all the stories of the Bible and how they're true, and uh I wanted them to be, there every time the door was open, and I wanted them to be involved. So if there was something going on, we were going to be there. I wanted to, especially with when we moved here, we came back to my home church where I was baptized as a child. So I knew some of the people and stuff. So I wanted to get involved with even, some of the older kids, older than our kids, so that, you love on them. They become second kids, third kids, fourth kids, 10th kids.
Yeah. We got plenty of them. That's
We
for
got
sure.
plenty of them for sure. I love them so much. But those are the kids that, they're walking around VBS with classes and stuff now and in high school, and they're loving on the little kids. That's all part of it, right?
Yeah.
They take their turn as to being the older kids, and these little kids, just think that they're the best thing ever. And that's how you keep kids in church, right? If you're 4 or 5 at vacation Bible school, seeing, juniors, seniors in high school be your teachers and taking you around and doing crafts with you and snack and all the Bible songs and stuff like that. And you get in your head, one day that's going to be me. And it is. So like it's building generations of believers.
Yeah. I mean, I'm right along with you. I think it was important to me, uh, growing up. My dad instilled in me that we go to church every Sunday. We praise the Lord. That I tried to instill that in my kids as well. We I will be the first to tell you, I did not do a good job the first 5 6 years of my oldest one's life, of doing that. And after we met and started a relationship, that became a priority to us after we talked it out, and that we wanted our kids to grow up the same way we did with that kind of faith. So um, I think it was very important, even so much so that when our oldest moved in with us, we decided to put him in a Christian school because we felt like that was something he needed. He needed a little more attention in that area because didn't live with us full time at that point.
Mhm.
So he didn't get as much as our youngest son did throughout the years, and that carried on to his college career. He's now going to a Christian college, and I believe his faith is a big part of that. Um, so I think raising kids in church and being part of that, not only do they get to meet like minded friends who hopefully have good morals, they can create those good morals as well and see how these people act and how they love on each other and how we take care of other people. And we do things for people in need. We raise money for people who need it. Do food drives for people who don't have food to eat. We take care of people through the church, and that gives them something. Hopefully, in the future, they continue to
Well,
follow.
I think we live in a world where social media is out there, right? Our acts of service are not for us; they're for people. Like, so I've always, our kids. If there's something going on at our church, more than likely we're going to be involved in it, right?
Yeah.
Just
We try to
because we try, and not because I have to, because I want to. I love these people so much, and the love that they give me is just, it's amazing. So when it comes to serving to acts of service, I want our kids it to be second nature for our kids.
Yeah,
They just
100%.
understand that this is how we're serving God, by serving other people. And so, like, the kids, they'll set up cots for them at the end. If there's a senior saints banquet,
Yeah.
we're doing it. If there's a church something, they're participating in it, and they don't even think twice about it anymore, right? Like, it's just like, oh, this is going on at church. That's what we're going to
That's what we're
do.
doing.
It's not a, do you want to do this or not? It's just a, like, that's it, and they enjoy it. Like,
I agree.
Joe has one of our abundant living group members, and he loves her so
For sure.
much. He will go find her just to talk to her. He thinks that she is just the greatest thing ever.
You
It's
can
kind
probably
of
give
like
her a
a
shout out on here if you want
Miss
to.
Nail, Jordan. If you're listening to this, that's amazing. But Joe loves you. He loves to find you at church, and he'll talk about Miss Nail all the time. He thinks that she's wonderful, and that's crazy. It's like a second grandma. Like,
Yeah.
it's extra grandparents, and so that's what you get. You get, all of these people that become family. They're family, right?
Yeah, it's 100% the reason. You know, I don't look. A lot of people look at church as just something to go do on Sunday that they feel like they have to do. Maybe I feel like it's a community. Um, I love worshiping Jesus, but the the friends and family we make inside that building are a tremendous part of our life. And we are very active in our church. We do a lot of programs for our church. Me and Jenna are plan a lot of different things for them. Uh,
I have this like brain schemes.
oh
Like,
yeah,
I want to do this, and my type A plans it for me. Like,
yeah.
I'm like the big picture kind of person, but minute details, that's all Travis.
So just so we understand, last Saturday, me and Jenna put together, and this took probably 2 months, put together, organized, and created the Amazing Race for our church. And what that consisted of was we spread volunteers throughout our county. We gave the people who participated a clue, and that clue led to one place where they got another clue, and that clue led to another place where they had to do an activity to get another clue, and so on and so forth. And for about 15 clues we had to come up with.
About 2.5 hours worth of scavenger hunt. And this wasn't like, they're driving down the block. They're driving across
all
county.
around the county.
Some of them did not follow the rules and obeying traffic laws, and they were speeding a little bit.
And part of that was to do a kind of a fellowship with all the people. The clues had some Bible scriptures in them that they had to figure out. And so we wove in what these people that volunteered, what they do outside of church.
Like Miss Nell Jordan, we just talked about her, but she makes dresses for what we call magi boxes. They get sent overseas. They're like Christmas boxes. And we bring in things every year, and we fill these boxes, little toys, crayons, coloring books, those kinds of things, little things to make a Christmas great for people overseas. And Nail Jordan hand sews all of these dresses for these boxes, for the girl boxes, obviously. But I mean, a lot of dresses. I mean, this woman is sewing out all of this, and that's just one thing that she does.
For sure.
And so, like, we wanted to make sure we recognized her. That was one of the clues, was find the person at our church who sews all these dresses for the Magi boxes. It wasn't just for her recognition. It was for people at the church who are involved in this amazing race who might not know Miss Nail, to kind of know, hey, this person does this, and maybe that person sews and wants to help next year or something like that. We just want to make sure that everybody at the church, all of the services that they do are seen by other people. Yeah.
So we also, in December, we do breakfast with Santa. It's a we bring in Santa, and it's free to the community, and come in. We get everybody together. We cook a bunch of pancakes for everybody.
They do
They can come.
crafts.
We do crafts. They come in, take their picture with Santa, and all we do is ask the community to bring a canned food for a food drive for a
As long
local
if they
charity.
can, if you could donate canned foods,
Yeah.
non-perishable food items for the food pantry in
Yeah.
town, and we donate all of that at once to
So
them. So it's free, but we ask for donations.
so what other stuff do we plan? We are over the college age kids. I say kids, they're adults.
They're all kids to us, but
So
because we're old now.
yeah, because we're old. So in the summer we help when they're back from school. We help plan their Sunday morning Bible classes, and we also plan a big trip at the end of the summer for
That's
the
a fun
college
trip.
kids. The last couple of years we went whitewater rafting, and we had nightly devotionals and hiking trips, and just to get them to gel together before they go off.
So
to
they have
college
people to
years.
look for, like
But-
somebody they can text or call
Yeah.
when they're freshmen in college and needing
So
a
they have-
friend. Yeah.
We put together movie nights for kids.
There's a lot. Like if
Yeah.
I get a harebrained scheme,
That's true.
Travis will make it happen for me.
Well, we make it happen.
Yes.
We sort out the details, and we make it happen. I can't take credit for that. So, how do you think? Because we've got kids, they're older. How do we help our kids build their own relationship with God?
Well, I think like we said, we always have them serving people. That's a main thing. I want it to be second nature to just care enough about people they want to serve them somehow, right?
Yeah.
And that it's not something they need recognition for. It's not something that they're being made to do and they don't want to. It's just part of their character is, serving someone. I think by making faith the forefront of our parenting, or the making faith the most important thing in our kids' lives, that they have the opportunity when they become older to make sure that they know, no matter what, God is with them, that they are loved by a perfect creator, and that they're forgiven for everything
sure.
they do. Because there's going to be a time, and I think this always happens, that you kind of pull away.
Yeah.
We were both raised in the church, and there was
Mhm.
several years in the 20s that we weren't going right. And we weren't together at the time, but
Yeah.
for a few years there. And then, you will come to realize you feel like something's missing. And you realize that it's a God-shaped hole in your life. That's what it is. It's the thing that's missing. So I want them to know what it feels like to be, in church and with God, and studying and praying and feeling that connection with the Holy Spirit and all of that. So when they do, or if they decide to pull away, they will realize what's missing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we've talked about that before, because we are over the college age kids in our church, about keeping them connected to the church, because that is a time where you tend to pull away. You've been at home your whole life, and your mom and dad probably are like, you got to get up and go to church on Sunday, and that's just what you do because those are the rules of the house. And then you get a little freedom at college, and you're like, well, I really don't want to do that. So we try to keep some stuff where they're connected to church, but in life, that's just a time where you do that. You explore these other things, and I think through raising our kids in church, what I hope I've instilled in my boys is that when the time comes and you're at rock bottom, you have to look up, and not look up to get out of the hole. Look up for the Savior to help you.
Yeah.
And that they know that they were always loved there and always will be.
Yep.
So that's just kind of my look on it. And our hope is that they never leave the church, and when they go to college, they continue to go, and they continue to build their faith, and continue to try to strive to be more like Jesus every day, like I hope we do. And we fail, and they're going to fail.
Absolutely.
And that's okay. That's what forgiveness is for. So What does it look like to you when our faith and family collide in a good way?
I mean, the collide. I mean,
Yeah. So
give me an example because I don't
so
know what you're asking me.
what I think when I read that is watching our boys do some of the things we've been showing them, like helping people out and taking care of that, and uh, you can see their faith and what they've learned come out without even a recollection. So uh, I've seen our youngest son. He went to a Halloween party last week, and when he got in the car, he said, I was hanging out with my new best friend." And I was like, "Your new best friend?" He was like, "Yeah, this kid came to the party. He has autism, and there was all his buddies were there, but he did the kid didn't want to go anywhere while they were running around trick or treating, so he stayed behind and hung out with this kid who probably doesn't have many friends." And I felt like, hey, we done
And
something right.
you see these kids too. I mean, just inviting them.
Yeah,
I know that sounds like that's just the right thing to do, but I mean, right and wrong was instilled by the
yeah,
father, right? So,
yeah,
I mean, you don't have to always do the right thing, the cool thing, and everything else.
right.
This whole group of kids was like, "Hey,
I
this
mean,
is this is our buddy now." Like that's
how many kids do that at 15? I mean,
yeah. I
really, I
mean,
mean,
they're and to making the right decision. I mean, they make wrong decisions. Please do not think that we're sitting here saying that our kids only make the right decisions
no, not
because
at all.
they do not. When they make the right decision, I do say that is, that's God. That is them knowing the right thing to do is because of our faith. Like
Yeah,
that's because the wrong decision was obviously, not what they should be doing. So I would think, when Joe just all of a sudden he's like, oh yeah, we're going and doing this at church, or we're going to do that in church. It shows me that he understands
yeah,
he needs to be active in church. And Kingston, he comes home from college. He came home from college this past weekend, and I mean he's up getting ready and going to church. Like
yeah.
I didn't have to go up there and tell my 18-year-old grown man child that he had to
Man,
get up and go to
child.
church. Like he set his alarm. He got ready. He was dressed for church. It's not it's not something I had to do. It's something, and then I'm asking him, are you, how's it being up there in college, on a weekend? And he's like, oh, I go to church on Sunday.
Yeah,
And I'm
no
not calling
problem.
him and telling him, are you going to church? I felt like it's his decision to make. He's a grown
Yeah,
man. And that's just part of it. We had to have faith that we taught them enough that they're going to put God in the forefront.
yeah, I agree with you. So let's move on and talk about faith in our marriage. So we've talked about when we first met and started dating, we weren't necessarily in church every week. But at some point it was a conversation, and we decided that's something we were missing in our lives. Um, what what's one way you think that faith, the church, has strengthened our marriage?
Well, okay. So like we talked about God showing us his plan, right? And sometimes that was really, really hard. Like we went through
One
some
hundred percent.
really, really hard times. Um, but because of our faith, because of our beliefs, um, I don't think either of us ever thought about giving up,
No,
right?
I agree.
Um, so I mean, we can tell the
I mean,
story.
I
Like
haven't. I don't.
we are. This is just tidbits of information, right, for everybody to know about us. Because I don't really care what people know
Yeah,
about me. My past is my past, and Lord help us, it's fine. Um,
we said we're not perfect
We're
from the
not.
beginning.
So we met and I was divorcing. It was that was a hard time, but then we met and I was 6, 7 months pregnant, had Joe. We moved in together. We were living
Yeah,
together at your house and not married. Just,
yeah,
not something our religion really, likes us to do. So we started going to church. I think Joe was probably 2 or 3,
Yeah, that's probably somewhere around in there.
2 or 3, um, and really started studying.
Yeah.
You had been baptized Catholic. I was Church of Christ. It's where I felt comfortable. And when we started talking about it, you asked where I would feel comfortable, but you had been to like different
Yeah.
denominations, so you were
Growing
open
up.
to everything. And I just kind of said the denomination I wanted to go is Church of Christ because that is where I felt the most comfort because that's where I was just lived my whole life, right?
Yeah.
Um, so we started looking for churches, We didn't feel like we felt comfortable in different places. We like church shopped, right? Like you just kind of
Yeah.
go around all these churches and trying to figure out where you belong. Um, we went to one and just like, oh, this is not for us. I think we went back like 4 months later.
Yeah.
They'd gotten a new preacher. Went in and heard probably one of the best sermons I had heard in
For sure.
a long time. David Salisbury, just at the Henderson Church of Christ in Henderson, Kentucky. If you are looking for a church family or you're looking for somewhere to just listen online, it's a great listen for
Right.
him. And we went in there and we sat down third row from the back, and there was a little old lady. She's not with us anymore. She sat down and I had a crying Joe at some point, and she leaned over to me and said, "It's okay, honey. Um, he hits music to all of our ears. We love little babies at church." And I thought, okay, I'm all right, And those people just loved
Yes, they
on
did.
us to the point we were just, oh my God, just love that place. Um, and then you decided that you want to get baptized.
Yeah.
We were engaged by that time. Like I guess it had been a year or so, and we got engaged, and we were planning our wedding for May. And you decided you want to get baptized on like a Wednesday, and we were like, okay, we got to get baptized on Sunday. So we met with the elders,
Yeah.
and they were like, well, the problem is that you want to get baptized, but you're not married, and you're going home to
Yeah.
live together. And that was it. And that was, I mean, right. Like that was right. That's not, again, that was against our beliefs. We shouldn't be sleeping together before married. So, I called my family and told them, hey, so here's the deal.
Here's what's
Travis
gonna
getting
happen.
baptized on Sunday. We're getting married.
Yeah.
And they were like, excuse me. I'm like, well, Travis wants to be baptized, and we want to make sure that we're not doing this for anything. Like this is what we want to do. We can't know that we're going to go
Right.
sin, right?
Right.
So we still had our wedding planned for May, and so now we have 2 anniversaries. And here's the God part of all of that. Travis got baptized, which is amazing. Our kids got to see that. We get to tell college
story.
kids this story.
Yeah.
But my grandmother passed away in March of that year. Our wedding was in May.
In between.
And in between this first wedding and this actual wedding we were planning, my grandmother got to be there. She watched me get married. She watched my husband commit to God and be saved. And that was amazing. So like, that's a God thing. So all of these things led for us to be able to tell young people like, hey, we are not perfect.
No.
And that's why if you have something happening with you, if you need someone to talk to, we've made mistakes too.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing is that we don't want to scare kids off by thinking, oh, well, these are perfect. That's what I tell our high schoolers. Like, I'm not perfect. That's why if you want to talk to me, I'll understand. I'm not judging you. I just want to help you. And so, and that kind of story that kind of helps them understand that no, Miss Jen and Mr. Travis aren't perfect. Or as our youth group calls, this is Big Fudge and Little Fudge. That's what their nicknames are.
Yep.
But they know that we're not perfect. So they come to us for a little bit better.
Yeah, it's amazing the story we're able to tell and be in the place that we are now. To be able to share that story with people with young adults that aren't hearing this from other people. They were raised or they were talked to by their parents or however the case may be. You just don't do these things. And then to have another adult say,
God loves you anyways.
while I'll agree with you, I have made those mistakes and I believe God still loves me
Mhm.
and he died for my sins just like he died for yours.
Yeah.
and it will be okay. And I promise you, we will help you in any way we can
Yep.
because we have been there. We have done that. So, do you think our spiritual journey has helped balance our relationship?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's definitely helped in the tough times, but
Yeah.
I can see the fruits in the good times. So I feel like it's balanced. Without it, I don't know where we would be at this moment. Like I said, I don't believe that everything happens for a reason. So I feel like we are where we are because of our faith. So I don't feel like we'd be on a different track. But without our faith, I don't know where we would be at. And I thank God every day that um, I'm with you and that we're as good as we always are. So I think it is the main ingredient to our relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
So we know this time of life, this season of life can be really busy between work and kids and soccer games and this and that. What is something we do that we can share with the people watching this that we make sure faith does not take a back seat to these other things?
I'm gonna get hate on the internet for this. I am. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, so and this is my beliefs. Um, Joe, we talked about Joe being on the junior varsity soccer team, and he made a commitment to that team, and that's absolutely 100%. But and I've said this to my kid. Maybe I'm wrong for saying it. There's a very slim chance you're going to go to college or be a pro soccer player.
Yeah.
But there is a 100% chance that you're going to meet the Lord and Savior. So if it's Wednesday night and it comes between practice and church, you're going to
You're
church.
going to church.
Until you're 18 years old and you can make the decisions for yourself. And I hate to say that. And I, if your kid's missing church, go to practice. I'm not judging you at all
No,
for
not
it.
at all.
But in my beliefs, it's not going to make a difference for soccer if he's there on a Wednesday night soccer practice or not.
And
It does make a difference. What if the message that night that was happening he needed to hear? What if some kid in there needed to see him? You know, what if some kid he had talked to, and he came to church thinking Joe was going to be there but didn't come back because he wasn't, So I think that for our kids, we have to make it the priority, and it needs to be both parents. It cannot be led by just mom making you go to
yeah, for
church,
sure.
just dad making you go to church. It needs to be a team effort. Hey, if it's important to the both of us, it's important to them, and they feel it. Like there's no questioning. I don't have to drag anybody out of bed for church. They understand that it's an expectation that we are going to church to learn, and they just do it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
100% agree with that. It's just I think the key to making sure it doesn't get put in the back seat over everything else is it's got to be a priority. Your salvation, your soul, your kids' salvation, all that has to be a priority. The way I kind of tell my kids is they're like, "Why do we got to go to church?" Well, I feel like I'm going to heaven, but I also don't feel like heaven would be heaven without y'all there.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure that y'all got the power to be there as well, because to me, heaven just won't be heaven unless you're there with me. So, uh, so that's why it's important to me. So we'll we're gonna move on to our.
This is a very serious episode, guys. We haven't been
Well,
giggling as
let's
much
get
as
a
like
little
last
bit
time.
unserious, and we'll jump into the this or that segment. Okay,
Okay, this or that.
this or that.
I can do this.
Do you prefer early morning devos or late night prayers?
Early morning devos. I don't like to get out of bed, but like I'll do an early morning devo. But late night, anything. You ask any of the girls to go to.
Late to you is, I think,
Oh, okay, late
it's
night prayers. I'll pray myself to sleep.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you said late, that was not the right answer, anyways, because I'm not a late night person.
I'm a late night prayer person. When we'll get into bed and we'll watch TV or look at our phones or whatever. But when I put my phone up, I kiss you goodnight, roll over to go to sleep. I say my prayers of gratitude, uh, my prayers of uh, please help these people who are in need that I'm by your will. These things is what I do before I go to sleep, and I usually fall asleep praying. It builds a calmness over me that I think actually helps me go to sleep. And we've had this discussion before,
Yeah.
but that
Well, when you told me you did that, that's why I started doing it. Once I put everything up, I like my thoughts for the night are prayers.
Yeah.
And I try to the gratitude things that I'm grateful for because I want to end my day thanking God for the things that He gave me because it's something I don't know if I do during the day. If I'm praying during the day, it's specific. Pray in the mornings, I'm praying, thankful that I woke up. But for the most part, it's about people or about situations. I'm praying during the day, like midday. It's around that kind of stuff. Hey, something's going on at work. I'm praying about that. Um, but at night, it's more gratitude, I think, because I feel like I'm asking for help all day,
Yeah.
and I feel like I need to be grateful.
So this one, consider yourself riding down the road by yourself,
Okay.
driving. Would you rather put on worship music or a sermon podcast?
Worship music. I do love some songs. Anybody that knows Church of Christ, we're a cappella. We don't sing with bands and stuff. So, but like all those songs have music to
Yeah.
it too. So if I'm not in worship, I will listen to all those songs with music. Christian music is great. Um, but you give me something I can sing to. Like give me, I mean, even with the music or not, I'll sing it a cappella if I have to. But
I'm a
I
little
love
bit
singing.
I'm a little bit of both. I really do like listening to some sermon podcasts. It's just gonna be the way I feel that day.
Yeah.
I enjoy some good worship music too, and there's a lot of good Christian artists I like. So I'm a little bit of both. It just depends on how I felt when I got into the truck and started driving.
Yeah.
Would you prefer coffee at church, like a fellowship, or a fellowship meal?
Bring on the potlucks,
Bring on
man.
the
I
potlucks.
love a potluck. I
There-
love a potluck.
There's
It's hard on the diet we're
for
on.
sure.
So hard. But back when I can eat whatever I want to, bring on the potluck, and the ladies who bring certain things, and
yeah.
which pot's theirs, you're going for it.
So you gotta, if you're looking for a church family and you decide on one, I guarantee you there's a little old lady in there that probably makes whatever your specialty dessert you like. I know I mentioned just offhand that I love chess pie, and
Ended up with
and
one.
I
Like
end
the
up
next
with like
week.
a chess pie the next week. I heard you like these, and I love making them, so I just brought you one.
Yeah.
And that's probably why I was so overweight, is because they all these little old ladies just love to love on people, and so I'm gonna go right with you. The fellowship meal is 100% my.
Oh yeah, I love a fellowship meal.
So this one it might be a little controversial.
Okay.
The Bible app on your phone or a regular paper Bible.
It depends on Bible period. I mean, it's the same thing, right? I love my paper Bible.
I do too.
But we, depending on who's here, if Kingston's home, Joe rides with him to church, and then I'll get in your car, but my Bible was in my car,
Right.
and if I have to use my phone, I will. I don't like it. I like to turn the pages. Also, my Bible app, I probably don't use it right, but you got to go up, you got to click the book, and then it takes you to a thing that says the chapters, and you got to take the chapters. But if it's really hard to do that if they're firing off a couple different
Right.
scriptures at you. Like the other day, I was trying to flip back and forth in my Bible, and I could do that really well. But when it's the Bible app, it's harder to do for me. It's because you got to go
Yeah.
through so much. Too
I
much.
prefer the paper Bible 100% of the time. There are times I use my phone and use the Bible app on my phone for same reasons that you just laid out. But I spent a large amount of time finding the Bible I wanted.
Yeah,
Um, and it wasn't exactly what I wanted, but I was looking for a good study Bible. And if you understand, a study Bible has like the notes in the bottom of it that tell you about each verse and what it's saying, and kind of gives you some references to go off of, just in-depth studies for the context. But I also wanted a journaling Bible. And what a journaling Bible is, it's got columns on the side of it where you can write notes.
yeah,
But I wanted them both combined,
yeah,
which was apparently really hard to find.
yeah.
And I wanted an ESV, which is the English Standard Version. That's the one I like. I could not find an ESV. The only journaling study Bible I found was an NLT, which is a lot like an ESV. But so I had to kind of compromise and get a different version, but I did get what I wanted out of that. And I have recommended that Bible to so many
Yeah, a
people.
lot of people have gotten it from you. I have the journaling ESV
Right.
version. I don't have the study, but I find myself so constantly during a sermon or during a class looking over and looking at his references on the bottom of his Bible to check and see what it says,
Yeah.
or if he sees something at the bottom in the study part of it and he finds it interesting or thinks that I will want to know that, he'll kind of lean over and
Yeah.
show me what it says. But yeah, like I feel like having the Bible that you want, having the Bible that fits for you is really important. So I would say, for me, hands on, I want the book.
Uh, Youth camp or family retreat?
That's not a good question for me.
I know the answer before.
Simpson County Youth Camp.
I know you're a big
It's a
proponent
week of
of.
my vacation every
Yeah.
year. Love me some camp. Love
You
it.
do make a lot of connections at youth camp like that with a lot of the young people.
Yeah.
And I would say, if you're going to church and your church has a summer camp program like that, or even a VBS, um, make it a priority to help in those situations. I think you'll find
Yeah.
that
I
it'll
mean,
probably.
that was what we got. All of my first year at camp, I got, I don't know, 7, 8 extra daughters for us. Because I thought I was going to be a nurse and I became head nurse, and all of a sudden, hey, you're a counselor too. And here's a bunch of 13, 14-year-old girls that you get to, and it changed my life forever. Love those girls so much.
So I think if you go out and volunteer to help with VBS, help with camp, or help on a Sunday morning with the kids' classes, you'll find that once you start servicing the people in church, that you'll have a hole in your heart filled that you didn't even know you had. It's just so rewarding to do those things.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. So this one says faith journal or prayer list. So we went through a phase where you would write down what you were thinking about or thankful for the day. You're journaling your faith experiences, or writing down like a prayer list. Which one are you?
So that journal that I would do is my gratitudes for the day. It would also, I would put in there, I was trying to read the Bible through beginning to end, and I have yet to be able to get that. That's a feat that I have had a hard time with. And so probably going to be a New Year's resolution again. Probably start this back up, but then I would put my prayer list. Who am I praying for that day?
Yeah.
And just certain situations. So it felt like, in my mind, I could get my squirrels to act right. I would journal gratitudes, things that I'm grateful for throughout the day, prayers that I wanted to have, and that way I was calling them by name. Calling people by name in my prayers, and putting just the Bible reading that I did. So that I could say that I did it. And that really did help me for a little while. So I think a journal is really nice. And if you're one of those kind of people that have to write things down, and I am one of those, my ADHD just loves I love lists and things.
All right, so that'll bring us out of this and that, um, and move us on into our favorite segment, back in my day.
Back in my day.
um, give us some. Let's talk about some stuff that may be different from when we were in church when we were kids to when we're in church now. The main thing I can probably see is while we still sing some of the songs from back in the day, there are these new
Yes.
version songs that are
a little bit
sneaking
harder.
into
A little bit harder,
a little bit harder to sing, sneaking into
The
worship.
kids know them.
Yeah.
That's great about going to youth events. So you learn all these new songs and stuff, and like these amazing song leaders. Like we go to CYC and stuff like that, and these amazing song leaders get up there and they teach you songs that you never
Right.
heard, but all these kids are singing them, and that you can understand the tune. You know what to do. So if it comes up at church, you can be one of those that helps it along. But yes, songs are one of those things that have kind of changed a little bit. So we have an amazing kids classes. It's called Sunshine Street. Um, and there's like a little cafe and a newsroom, and there's a game arcade kind of thing, and a theater, and it's set as a street, and it's all these little places, and then they go learn the story, and they do an activity in each room. So like the cafe has they're making a little snack, and the game is a game. In the theater, they get to act out what's happening in this Bible story, and they go to, and that's how they learn all the way through the Bible. And when we had the learning center. So like there's all this technology now. They're like the newsroom has iPads. Like they're doing these caboodles or something. Cahoots. That's it. Caboodles.
That's something from back.
That is back in my day. Okay, Cahoots. That's the name of it. And so we had the learning center where we would literally pop in a tape and have a big old headset, and we would listen to several chapters of a book in the Bible. Yeah. And you'd start Genesis, and you'd end in the end, and Revelations. Lord, I couldn't think. And this, and someone put all these together, and then you would go and do all these games, and these were handmade games by these ladies that came up with the Learning Center, and it was amazing. But that's the difference now. Like all of that stuff is on iPads, and there's all these things. And someone did came up with all the stuff for Sunshine Street. But I always think that the Learning Center was amazing. Without no technology except for a tape player, these 4 women made, games for every few chapters of every book of the Bible, which is amazing.
So, would you say that's something you miss about church from growing up? Is that part of it, or is there anything else you miss from your childhood that you would bring back to church
to other kids?
Well, not necessarily kids, but the whole church. So I'm gonna have a hard time referencing back in my day because I, as Jenna mentioned before, I was raised Catholic, and I moved over to the Church of Christ when we got married. So I don't really have a reference from church when I was younger. You do. We are now going to church in the same church that you grew up in.
I'd bring back Learning Center in a heartbeat. I loved Learning Center. That was amazing. I wish, and this is just changed for days and time, right? Back in my day, there was a lot of stay-at-home moms, right? Yeah. It hadn't kind of crossed over where everybody had to have 2 parents working like we do now. So we had VBS. It was half a day every day for a week. So Monday through Friday till lunchtime. They'd feed us lunch, and then we would leave. And then Friday, after the 12 o'clock, if they fed us lunch, it'd be like this big carnival if we hit our goal for people coming, right? But it was like an experience. I mean, you brought everybody to VBS. There were hundreds of kids there because, you're talking about
free babysitter
for half a day.
Yeah.
half the day they lined up around the block dropping kids off, but it was amazing, but you don't have that. Kids are not like, you don't have that option anymore just to pick your kids up in the middle of work day, right? Because everybody works now, and you don't have the volunteer power either, because most of those people were our church ladies
Yeah.
who also didn't work, so they were the ones staffing VBS. So that would be back in my day, something that I wish we could do is like a half day of VBS every day, but we just don't have it.
Anything you think it's changed from back in your day to now that's been changed for the better?
No, but I got one more to add about
Okay. Go
I
ahead.
loved songbooks. I hate projection like the
Yeah.
songs, because I get lost. I love a
The-
songbook. Things that gotten better. No, I think that it's wonderful then. It's wonderful now. I'm not, there's
I
nothing
think
I'm like,
two
it's gotten
things that
so
I would
much
put
worse
on
or anything
there
like that.
is that with the advancement of technology, I can now watch a church if I'm at sick and home and can't come, or if
Which is
I'm
great.
out, or if I'm traveling and can't be there in person. And also, we've got it set up where our tithing comes out automatically. So if I'm not there in person, I don't have it. It comes
Yeah.
out, and I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it. So those advancements in technology make
Yeah, like
are
when
better.
we used to when we were kids, our dad would they would try to find a place for us to go to church on Sunday if we were on
Yeah,
vacation. Which for my dad and stuff was, kind of hard because he's very conservative and we're Church of
yeah,
Christ, and so you just don't know what kind of church you're walking into.
right.
Even if it says Church of Christ, it doesn't mean that it's going to have the same belief system. Um, or it might have something that my dad didn't want us to be, feel like that was part of worship. So now um we get the
Yeah.
communion, and we watch our service from wherever we are in the world, which is great. I love that.
So we're getting towards the end of this episode. About to wrap it up here for today. What's one thing you'd like to share with our listeners that you'd like to tell them, leave with about our faith or what they can use for their faith? What's one thing you'd like to leave our listeners or
Just
viewers with?
reiterate, we are not perfect. We are not saying that we're better than you because of this. Um, we're just telling you what we believe.
Yeah.
And tell you what works for us. And tell you why it works for us, why God is so big for us. So if you feel like something isn't in your life, and you don't go to church, you don't have a church family, find one. Would be try it at least.
Yeah.
Walk into a church and try to see if that's what's missing in your life, because I would say that's probably what it is. Because I know I've been there. I know I've walked into a church feeling broken and beaten down, and walked out going, I need this. So, and that's why I say that. So, and always remember that churches are hospitals for sinners, and where nobody in there's perfect, and they're not acting perfect. They're
Yeah.
just there because they need to be there.
Yeah. So I think the one thing I would like to leave with anyone that's watching, if you don't know the person we're talking about in Jesus Christ, please, and you want to know more, please reach out uh, through our comments section, through our Facebook page, and we will talk to you about the man they called Jesus, who died for our sins, and how he saved me and he saved my wife, and he could save you as well, and how uh, through his death you can be born again in heaven. Because just like I tell my kids, I want to see them in heaven. I want to see you in heaven too. So, um, if that's something that you need in your life, please reach out. We got multiple ways to get a hold of us, and we would love to walk you through that. If you don't feel like reaching out to us, every Wednesday night, every Sunday morning, every Sunday night, there's a church in your town, wherever you may be, wherever you're at across the world. Walk in the doors. They're going to love you there, I promise.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been episode 5 of Faith in the Middle. Um, And sometimes it can be a hard discussion to have, but I'm glad we had it. My name's Travis.
I'm Jenna.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
See you then.
Living